What scares you as an adult that didn't bother you as a kid? I bought a house a couple years ago. Literally everything scares me now. It's raining, probably gonna flood the basement. Windy, trees gonna fall on the house. Weird smell, probably an electrical fire. Leave the house for literally 5 minutes, obviously going to explode due to a gas leak. Signs of aging. When you're a kid, getting older means new and exciting changes. When you're in your 30s plus, it means far less fun things. Traveling in a car, especially if I'm not the one driving. 7-year-old me, man, it's amazing how many adults are smart enough to run hundreds of cars around the city going super fast and not hit each other. Adult me, up. A tooth falling out. As a kid it was gross, funny and painful all at once. As an adult, horrifying. My dentist said that a couple of my teeth are a little mobile. Then he said it's nothing to really worry about. As if hearing teeth and mobile in the same sentence is ever good. My parents' mortality. I've already done the please don't die before I get to the hospital plane flight. Thankfully that was not the case. For now. How easily your life can start going downhill. Lack of time. As a kid, felt like I had all the time in the world. As an adult, I feel like I have no time to do anything other than work. Roller coasters. I used to ride them all summer long because I had a Six Flags summer pass. I went a few years ago with my younger sister. It wasn't fun anymore. I just kept feeling like I was going to die. I ended up holding purses and keeping my feet on the ground. I never understood why my mom would just wait for me, but I get it now. Edit. Thanks for the awards. My biggest fear is that I'll end up requiring care by others when I grow older. I'd rather die before that. Also being stuck in my country and forced to live a mediocre life. Butterflies. I don't get it either. Oh. And teenagers. I think everybody's scared of teenagers. Even teenagers. Garage door springs. I owned my own garage door company for 10 years. So naturally I'm not afraid of them. But I can assure you, if you are not trained and don't know what you're doing, those springs will absolutely beat you to death. Maybe at best, take off a few fingers. Number 1 tip. Do not use a screwdriver to try to wind them or unwind them. Yay. Using a screwdriver sounds like an awesome way to get suddenly impaled. Anesthesia. As a kid, I was led to believe that it was something magical that happened to you when you got your tonsils out, and then afterwards, you could eat all the ice cream you wanted. Now that I've had it as an adult and know that there's always a possibility it could go horribly wrong, I get really antsy and scared just thinking about it. I was the most outgoing kid ever. I'd just go straight to the playground and blurt out to the first person I met, "Hey, wanna be friends?" I was loud, energetic, social and pretty much had no fears at all. I can't believe how I used to be that outgoing as a child, only to grow up anxious of life itself. WTF happened along the way. Being in large crowds. Totally this. In high school and college I was nearly trampled at crowded concerts and other drunken types of revelries, and shot at. Now I'm scared of either getting trampled or another mass shooting. Deep water. I learned to swim in it by essentially jumping into a pool on holiday as all the other kids were in the pool and didn't want to be left out. Now for some reason, if I'm in water and it reaches my chest, I'm struck by an absolute rising sense of dread. My breathing gets shallow and I feel so uneasy and upset I have to get into shallower water to be calm again. I feel kind of similar about the open sea. If I'm on a boat, it absolutely terrifies me that there's miles upon miles of emptiness below you. Emptiness. Filled with monsters that mankind has never yet seen. I was crazy on bicycles when I was a kid. I'd jump anything, anywhere, on a little tiny bike, crashing spectacularly like we all did in the 70s. Now, I have a bike with suspension that rivals a motocross bike. And this very bike can handle obstacles that off-road trucks might have issues with, and I ride around never leaving the earth. With a helmet and enough other stuff on I can literally play football. Financial emergency 100%. When you're a kid you don't think about things like this. You could be off of work due to injury for 2 months and lose everything you worked hard for, even if you were doing everything right financially. Seeing a balance of $100 in my account now, yes, when I was a kid is a much different experience. The final realization that the path you're on, career, wife, skills, friends, will be the one you travel until retirement. It's like welp. Only 30 years to go. This is my life now. As I edge closer to my 30s, this one scares me more than most. This isn't just some video game where I can start over and pick another path. There are only so many places I can live, people I'll know, or career paths that I can go down. All I can try now is get one that will make this little existence somewhat meaningful to fill the void. Not being prepared for retirement. Not being insured, literally can't get sick or into an accident because it will cripple me right now. So I just stay home. Phone calls. I used to call people all the time as a kid. Now I'm terrified of them and get anxiety attacks every time I have to call a non-family member. I'm slowly learning to manage by writing everything down I want to say so I don't go blank. The reality of how fleeting life is, and I don't mean in the glitch live life to the fullest. I mean in the way that life really does pass quickly. I'm 3 years into college and I still feel like I graduated high school last year. Every now and then someone will mention the new class graduating and I have no idea who they are. Or when people I graduated with come into my work and it hits me, I haven't seen them in 3 years. When I was younger, I couldn't wait to grow up, to live on my own, travel, see the world, have a bunch of friends, have a real job. Now life is real, and it's passing quick, and realities are starting to set in that in order to do all the things I want to do while I'm young, I better have an excellent paying job, because time is passing and it isn't waiting for me. The fact that our leaders don't really know what they are doing, and that they use their position for self-benefit. Bills. I didn't know what they were when I was a kid, but now whenever I hear the word, I shudder. One syllable names freak me the duck out. Responsibility. No joke. Being a father and husband and providing for them is scary when your job isn't very good. My dad recently cut down a couple branches of a tree next to his house. It was scraping the house, making constant noise. He did so standing on a ladder with a chainsaw. When he got off, and I asked him sarcastically if it was scary, he then explained that the reason that it was scary is that if he fell, he might not die. Confused, I asked him to elaborate. My father explained that if he survived, but lost motor function, we wouldn't be able to work his job. He couldn't help with the house, and would still be there eating food and taking up space. It still surprises me that this is a thing. Money management. It's not easy being a student, and managing my tiny pocket money never bothered me when I was younger. Driving. Each time I go out onto the road I get more and more scared to go back. I'm only 19. How is 90% of this species so reckless that they can manage to scare a 19-year-old off the road? The reason I pay so much extra for insurance is because I'm supposed to be the one doing that. But all middle-aged senior citizens that think they own every inch of the road are beating me to it. I completely agree. People are absolutely crazy on the roads. I already have anxiety. Driving is hard enough as it is without Bob Blowhart speeding along the road with reckless abandon, missing your car by inches. And the superiority. They all think that since they're older and have been driving for longer they're better at it. Actually, you're worse because nobody has corrected you on your bad habits. They're all too scared to get in your car or confront you about it. They all seem to be of the dangerous mindset that they're the only one they should be worrying about on the road and screw everyone else. Losing my job, since obviously I didn't have or need a job as a kid to keep a roof over my head and food on the table. I've been laid off twice, once just before Christmas. So now I dislike Christmas. I've quit a job once when my company was being taken over. I was a contractor, and usually those are the first to go in a merger. And I quit another time when my manager was a raging bitch / perfectionist helicopter boss and the writing was on the board. I'm in a great job right now, the best I've ever had, and just survived a layoff round. I keep waiting for the luck with this job to wear off, and I'm looking yet again. Medical debt. As a kid I'd take any dare because I wasn't the one that got the bill if there were negative consequences. I'm from the UK and didn't understand that was a thing in other countries till not too long ago. I remember watching a skate video where a kid rips his balls open. One kid suggests phoning an ambulance and another immediately goes, nah, that's too expensive. Like WTF. I would walk around covered in bubble wrap in America. People became more scary than snakes for some reason. People can duck you up in countless ways. They're devious and unpredictable, and prone to doing incredibly reckless things when stressed. Snakes just do snake things. Children, or frankly anyone for whom I bear responsibility, doing dangerous stuff of any type. Stop having fun, you little shits. It isn't worth it. I knew a few kids that liked to have fun. A bunch of them are dead and a couple are paralyzed. Basically my risk/reward calculus has moved far into the it isn't worth it range. Taxes. I originally read that as Texas, and I was like, yeah, I can see that. The reality, which was taxes, is far scarier, appears from a dark corner in your closet. Howdy. Adulting in general. When I was young, I was excited to grow up and live independently and have a job and car and do things adults do. Now I know why kids have more carefree attitudes. Because they are so much more free of cares. Serial killers. They're everywhere and crafty, and all seems well until they have you right where they want you. As a kid, it never really entered my mind much that people can be so evil. Being stalked. Never gave a second thought about and thought it was cool to have someone like you that much. Now it's my absolute worst fear, along with getting in trouble with the law and police officers. So, I'm a teenager, so I don't really know if I have a right to comment here. But here goes nothing. When I was younger, I never really thought of future. Now, it terrifies me. Like, what if I get into college that wasn't right for me and it messes up my career? What if I never get to travel and do some interesting stuff I really want to try? What if I end up living that average lifestyle that is making me unhappy right now? What if I never experience any form of love that I've been searching for so desperately for almost 10 years now? Future, or, to be precise, how unpredictable the future is, scares the living daylights out of me. Literally so many things. Cycling, unemployment, cancer, old age, driving fast, disability, migraines, power tools, back pain. I miss the days of blissful ignorance. The future is now old man. Hides. Death. I'm only 16. But every year I get more and more aware of it, and more terrified of it. I'm absolutely terrified of my kid dying. As a kid, I did the riskiest shit without a care or worry about what the consequences would be. Ride my bike down the side of a busy street, swim in the river, drive fast and reckless once I got my license, drink heavily with friends. Still need to calm down on that one. I never thought once about what my parents would do if something happened to me. Now that I have my own kid, I'm scared to death he'll take the same risks I did, and I don't think I could ever bear that loss. It literally keeps me up at night and I occasionally have nightmares about it. People, or how brutal people can be. I've seen stabbings, shootings, rapes, and others. And while I've matured quite a bit because of it, a lot of people my age still have that innocent mindset in a way. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.